High-Rise Mystery, Chapter 38. All of the eyes on the try focused on Norva and me. I pulled her to her feet. "We need to go, now." Tears fell down her face as Norva stood up. She brushed her dress off, wiped her eyes and threw her head back. "You're right, they can't see me like this." She held her nose in the air, back straight. The crowd parted silently. I turned to look at them. They stared at us, phones aloft. May Burton from Cloud News appeared with her camera crew. "No comment," Norva screamed at her. "Not now, not ever." I pushed Norva and Ringo into the lobby of Corner 1. My heart pounded. I burst into tears. "You were right, Nick," Norva said. I wiped my eyes. About Pap being the obvious suspect. Considering the evidence, that was clear. We both knew this. I just accepted it, I suppose. "I need to ask you, be straight with me. Do you think he did this?" She stared in my eyes. "Norva, I 100% don't," I said, holding her gaze. "Pap wouldn't do this. We know. But we need to prove it. Belief is not enough." "So now, not only do we have to find Hugo's murderer, we also have to save our dad," she said. I nodded, yes. "Why did I wish for drama? Why?" She slapped her forehead. "I'm such an idiot. I miss the missing hat days. Those are long gone, I'm afraid. In it, though." I pointed up towards our flat. She nodded. We moved towards the lift. "Yes, Officer Smythe, I know," a familiar, wintry voice murmured from Pap's office. I pointed left towards the investigation room. Norva nodded. We moved to the office door. It was ajar again. DCI Sharp had her back to us. Katie was in profile, sitting at Pap's desk. We listened in. "Catherine, if I may, you are an adequate officer. Your work here has been average to good, but you are trying your best. I can see that." "Thank you," Katie replied quietly. Norva and I exchanged looks. That was barely a compliment. "We're so up against it here. You know this. You've barely slept. Most of the officers are still deployed north. There are 3 of us on this investigation. 3. That's unheard of. It's criminal." Katie sniffed. "I know." "I understand you know and like these people." Norva raised her eyebrows. Her lips tightened. "And I needed you to experience an arrest. But nothing changes unless we get crystal clear evidence of his innocence by this time tomorrow. Otherwise, Mr. Alexander will be charged with murder." Norva squealed. Her hands flew to her mouth to contain it. Too late. "You know very well we can only hold a suspect for 24 hours. We need to wrap this up." Katie sobbed. My eyes filled with tears. "He threatened the victim's life in front of multiple witnesses. We have it on video. He has a motive. The repairs over the statue. His key witness, when he finally admitted to his whereabouts on Friday, won't corroborate. Add this to the paint can, the CCTV, those boot prints. He needs an alibi, Officer Smythe, and a strong one." Katie spoke up. "It just doesn't make sense. He wouldn't. Joseph just wouldn't do this," she protested. "He just wouldn't." I'd heard enough. I stepped back and called the lift. It opened immediately. Norva stuck her tongue out for the camera above and twisted her braids. "This again? Now?" I whispered. "Right now?" "No, this is important," she said. We stepped in and Norva pushed the button marked 21. The lift was hot and slow. I reached into my pocket. My fingers brushed against Hugo's lid. I cried, loud, deep sobs. Norva hugged me. "We're officially pre-orphans," she said. bursting into tears.